There is a creature in North American folklore that was once human. It does not hunt for pleasure. It hunts because it can never be full. They call it the Wendigo. Long before the forests of Canada were mapped, long before the snow-covered mountains had borders, Algonquian tribes told stories of a spirit that lived in the deepest winter. The Wendigo was not born a monster. It was made. According to legend, when a person turns to cannibalism in times of starvation, something ancient notices, a spirit of hunger, a force of greed, and it enters them. The transformation is slow. First comes the hunger. No matter how much they eat, they feel empty. Then comes the craving. And finally, the change. Their body grows tall and thin. Their skin tightens against bone. Their lips rot away from their teeth. Some say its heart is made of ice. Others say it smells like death long before you see it. But the most terrifying part? The Wendigo remembers who it used to be. In 1878, a man named Swift Runner was put on trial in Alberta, Canada. He confessed to killing and eating his own family during a brutal winter. But what disturbed authorities wasn't just the act. It was this. There was food available nearby. He didn't have to do it. When questioned, some local indigenous people believed he had become possessed by the Wendigo spirit. A hunger that goes beyond survival. A hunger that chooses you. But legends don't stay in the past. In 2001, a hunter in northern Ontario reported something strange while tracking deer during early winter. He claimed he heard his name whispered from deep in the trees. There was no wind, no footprints but his own. Then he saw it. Something tall, too tall, standing between the trees. It did not move. It only watched. And when he stepped backward, it stepped forward. He left his rifle. He ran. When he returned days later with others, the snow showed tracks. Not hooves, not paws, but something long and human that sank too deep into the ice. The Wendigo is often described today as a skeletal creature with antlers and glowing eyes. But historically, it was even worse. It looked human, almost human, enough that you wouldn't run at first. You would hesitate, and that hesitation is all it needs. Some researchers believe the Wendigo legend was a warning story, a cultural protection against greed, against selfishness, against consuming more than you need. But others believe something darker. What if the story didn't start as a warning? What if the warning came after the sightings? Winter creates isolation. Isolation creates fear. And fear creates things in the dark. But here's the part most people don't talk about. The Wendigo doesn't just appear in forests. It appears during famine, war, desperation, moments when humans turn on each other. Maybe the Wendigo isn't a creature. Maybe it's a reflection of what we become when survival replaces morality. So if you ever find yourself alone in the snow and you hear your name called from somewhere behind you, don't answer. Because if something calls you from the trees, and it sounds almost human, it might already be too late. And remember, the Wendigo doesn't hunt because it's hungry. It hunts because it will never be full. Have you ever experienced something like the Wendigo? Share your story in the comments.